back. Silman here. And in this video, we're diving into the first step of UX process, that is problem identification. I'll walk you through how to spot real issues that need solving. So let's get started without wasting any time. See, everyone talks about solving problems, but here's the tea. Most people can't even identify the real problem. Okay. See, they see symptoms, slap a quick fix, and call it a day. Just like our health. Sometimes what we do is we get a mild uh, a fever or something, and we go to Google and it shows cancer. Like, right? Like, there are some memes floating around on that. So, just like that, we don't go in depth of the problem. We see symptoms and we slap a quick fix and call it a day. But as designers, we are not about that life. We should just come out of that life. See, problem identification is where the magic starts. See, guys, this is the very first process of UX. So, if you fail in this one, the whole process itself is gonna collapse. So, the problem identification is where the magic starts actually. So, it's not about finding the problem, it's about uncovering the hidden one. So, the one no one's talking about but is silently wrecking everything. Okay? Now, sometimes what people tell is problem identification is hard. Why is it? It is actually, see, as humans are biased. Our brains are lazy. We jump to conclusions faster than we should. Okay? And that's why most people assume the problem instead of digging deep. Oh, if you take an example, imagine a startup that loses users after a week. They think, we need more features. That's why people are leaving. But the real problem, their onboarding process is boring enough to put someone to sleep. As you can see here, the problem was the startup was losing users after a week, right? But what they thought was they need more features. That's why users were leaving. But the real problem was that the onboarding process is boring enough. Okay, so yeah, so that's how you should not assume any problem and then jump to it. Now, I have a framework for you to follow to break down or identify a problem. Now, I call it the three layers of problem. And now see, this is what, think of a problem like an onion. Okay, it has layers, right? Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. But in this context, just imagine that this onion has three layers only. Okay, now let's peel them one by one. Now the first one is the obvious layer. The obvious layer, this is what everyone sees and complains about. Now if you take an example with Swiggy, the obvious layer would be long delivery times on Swiggy. Okay, now, that is a visible pain. This is what everyone sees and complains about. Then comes the root cause. What could be the root cause? Now, this is what's causing the visible pain. This is happening, right? The visible pain is happening, right? It is because of this thing. The second one, the second layer, the middle layer, basically. That is the actual issue. So, if you take the example of Swiggy again, long delivery times on Swiggy is the obvious layer, right? But the root cause would be not enough delivery executives during peak hours. Got it? So this is the root cause. Now, the invisible layer, the silent killer. Now, you need to see the silent killer here. This is the sneaky one. See, it's often ignored, but makes or breaks the problem. It makes the solution or breaks the solution. It can do the both. It can do both the things. Okay. So in this invisible layer, coming to the Swiggy problem again, the obvious one was long delivery times. The root cause was not enough delivery execs, and the invisible layer would be delivery executives are quitting because their payment system sucks. Okay, see, this is not the problem. Just giving you an example. Okay, Swiggy, I don't know how they pay, but yeah, delivery executives are quitting because their payment system sucks. Okay, so now you saw the obvious problem, you found the root cause, and then you dig deeper into the invisible layer. This is how you break down a problem. Now, after this, for problem identification, there is a toolkit, which I call as a toolkit. Okay. Now, let's get a little practical. See, how to identify problems. These are the tools that I have personally been using. Now, see, the first thing is the observation. It is like shut up and watch mode. You need to shut up and actually watch. Just see what happened. Go where the action is and observe without interrupting. Now, for Swiggy's delivery issue, spend a day following a delivery executive and see what frustrates them. Like spend a day delivery exec and observe their day without interrupting. Okay. Now next comes the ask why, the five whys technique. Now, when I'm asking a question, try to finish with five whys and you'll land on a problem. So this is a proven concept where you take a problem, okay, you ask five whys, why, and then at the end you found the, I mean, you find the real problem. So actually it works for most people. Now see, the first, see, the problem we found was delivery system is getting late. I mean, deliveries are getting later, longer delivery time. Now your first question would be, why are deliveries late? Why are deliveries late? Then your question would be, then your answer, I think, yeah, then your answer would be not enough delivery executives. Now you have an answer. Now you have to ask a why question to that. Why don't we have enough delivery executives? Because many quit. Okay. Now next, what we'll ask is, why did many quit? Why did many people quit? My answer would be payment issues. Okay. Now I'll ask, what is the payment issue? I mean, why is the payment issue? Or what it would be is, payments are delayed. Okay. And once you have completed one, two, three, and four, the fifth why would be, why are payments delayed? You'll end up with complex processing system. Now, boom, you have found the real problem. Now, if you solve this and again call the delivery executives and start with new delivery executives, this will work. So now, see, sometimes now some really genius Albert Einstein will ask, now why didn't you ask why complex processing system? See, if I ask na, the why will go on to 100 or 200. I can ask questions a lot of time, but this is a proven concept, that is five whys where you land upon a problem. Okay. Now, you can ask more questions to this, and if you want to dig more deeper, you can do it. But there are other tools also, guys. So let's just pause on this and then start with the next tools. Now, see, data analysis. Next, you need to analyze the data. See, you need to see numbers don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. You need to check patterns, trends, and anomalies. Anomalies in the sense issues and other stuff. Now, see, you need to, if we take an example, if you analyze the data of delivery, what would you analyze? Is the delivery issue worse during weekends? Got it? Weekends in the sense that is the peak hour, right? So yeah, so you need to analyze data based questions. Is the delivery worse during weekends? If yes, why? Okay, ask questions like this. Now, after this, you need to do some stakeholder interviews. Like, you need to talk to everyone involved, employees, customers, managers, and everyone. Now see, now an example would be a Swiggy customer. A customer would complain about late delivery, right? But what the issue actually is, the delivery executive will have another issue here. But delivery executive might reveal the deeper issues. Got it? After this, you once you found a problem, you can do a lot of things here. Now, in assumption testing, you write down what you think the problem is and test it. Okay? And be ready to throw it out if the data says otherwise. See, in the assumption testing, you assume a problem. You think about a problem and you test it. But if it doesn't work, just throw it out. No issues. But if it works, luckily you have found the problem, bro. Okay, so this is how we use these tools to identify the problems. These are the three core layers and these are the tools. There are unconventional ways to identify problems. These are the four unconventional ways to identify problems. Okay, first one is micro irritations. So in micro irritation, you need to look for the small stuff people have learned to tolerate. So these are gold mines. See, one example would be Swiggy's app has too many notifications, right? That is actually an irritation. If you get hundreds of notification, you would be irritated, obviously. But Swiggy's app has too many notifications. Customers might not leave, but they are annoyed. Okay, so that is one. Look for the small stuff people learned to tolerate. Just forget about spelling, guys. I know spelling, but I'm typing fast. Okay. Next is the silent users. You need to listen to the quiet ones. See, most of the feedback comes from loud complainers. Most of the feedback comes from these type of users who are loud complainers. But what about the silent users who leave without saying a word? What will you do with them? Right, see, sometimes most of the users are introvert or they don't want to explain what the problem is. They'll just delete your app and go. They'll just uninstall your app and go. So you need to listen to those people also. You need to check. You can't directly talk with them, so you can get surveys. You can check the churn rates, and then you can also see who quietly are uninstalling your app by getting a survey from them. Okay, so this is how you listen to the quiet ones. Okay, next is the extreme use cases. You need to observe extreme use cases. How does your product behave at extremes? You need to see that. Extreme use cases in the sense 1 hour delivery in a storm. Can your product do that? 100 users ordering at the same time. This stress testing, this is also called as stress testing. Okay, let me write it. Stress testing. Okay, so this stress testing reveals cracks in your product. What if some 100 users are ordering from your app at the same time? That's that. Is that making the issue for the delivery partners to take longer, right? Now, next is the use competitors failures. You need to analyze their mistake, learn from your rivals mistake. Okay, now, did Zomato users switch to Swiggy? Now, if suppose I'm not trying to debate here or make any issue, I mean, big thing, guys. I'm just explaining this for a concept. Okay, learn from your rivals. Now, suppose did Zomato users switch to Swiggy? Now, if the answer is yes, then why? Why means there should be something like Swiggy's strength might highlight Zomato's weakness. Did you get what I'm trying to tell? Uh, if suppose there is a person A, okay, there is a person A and there is a person B. Now, B has some strengths and B has some weaknesses. A has found the weakness of B, and A has uh, made himself that made that as his strength. So what people will do is when people see A, they won't see his weakness or something because but people will see B's weakness because that is A's strength, right? So that's how things work. It can be vice versa or it can go the either way. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain things here. Now let's move to the next thing, that is the frameworks that you can use. The frameworks, this you can call it as frameworks or types or whatever. Now see, this is called journey mapping, and then there is in journey mapping. You map out the customer's entire journey from app open to food delivery. You need to spot the friction points here. Then comes the empathy mapping. What does your user say actually? Say, think, do, or feel. Okay. Often what they feel reveals the real problem, guys. So empathy mapping is really powerful. Then comes data triangulation. You need to combine qualitative and quantitative data to cross verify the finding. Okay. So yeah, these are the three primary frameworks that I would suggest you to go for. Then comes the red flags when identifying a problem. See, sometimes what happens is there are three primary problems. Okay. First is you are fixing symptoms, not causes. Okay, you need to find the cause. We saw the three layers, right? So, if your solution only reduces complaints but doesn't create lasting change, you missed the mark. Okay, then comes overlooking silent stakeholders. As I said, if you only listen to one group and ignore the others, you're getting a partial picture. In our Swiggy's example, if they listen, I mean, if they only listen to their customers and ignore the delivery executives, they are only getting the partial picture. Okay. Now, what if they didn't talk to the delivery executive? They wouldn't have found that the problem is with the payment systems. Okay. And then third, final one is the rushing without proper research. See, I mean, you can speed run problem identification. So what you need to do is you should not speed run problem identification. Take time to ask, listen, observe, and think. Okay, take time to ask, listen, observe, and think. These are the four things. Okay, hope you understood. Now let's take our own example and try to identify a problem. Cool. Now imagine you're designing a library app for students to borrow books. The app has great features: search, reserve, pickup scheduling, but the number of daily users has dropped from 1000 to 500 in just a month. In a month, everything has dropped, guys. So you need to solve for this and you need to find why this is happening from 1000 to 500. You need to find why it is happening. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's not do this. Wait a minute. Yep. Our first one, as I said, three layers of problem, right? Our first one is the obvious layer. Now, what we see here is students are dropping off after using the app. Using the app. See, the question, they are telling that the users, the ones that have used the app, have dropped. Okay. Now, what everyone's quick conclusion is, what everyone are thinking is, the app needs more features and marketing. Okay. Now you need to find the root cause of why this is happening. So for that, what you'll do is what's causing the problem. That means the root cause layer. The root cause layer. In this root cause layer, what you are trying to do here is the search results don't match. the student queries. See, you can't directly jump to root cause. Before root cause, you need to talk to students of why they are like leaving or why they are doing this. So for that only, the obvious layer is there, na. After obvious layer, you need to use these tools. I mean these tools to find out the root cause. Okay, got it. Now the evidence here would be evidence would be observation. You might have seen the user, they spend excessive time on search page. Then you see the data, like app analytics show high drop off rates post search. Okay, and then you take interviews. So these are the root causes. Now is the invisible layer, a sneaky culprit that no one saw coming. Sneaky culprit here. What do you think would be the sneaky culprit here? Just think. Hmm. I think you might have got it. Hopefully, but I what I am guessing is most people would think that search bar is the sneaky person, but no, not the search bar. The search algorithm is the sneaky culprit because it prioritizes, I mean, older books over popular new ones, or there is no book, there is no new books. Okay, that would all. See, why does this matter actually? Why does the search algorithm matters here? See, students don't care about outdated or irrelevant results. They want new, trending, or most borrowed books upfront, right? So, one example feedback when you have talked to the person or student, you went, uh, have found that the student might have told you, I searched for AI books and got results from the 90s books, which I don't need now. I need new books now. Okay, no, so that is an example feedback. If you talk to the librarian would say, students ask me directly because the app is useless, right? So these are all that lead to identifying the actual issue here. Okay, now the three core layers are done. After this, what we're going to do is we need to do the unconventional way of finding the problem, unconventional ways to identify problems in the library app. But before that, we need to do some stuff for the wait, where did it go? Yeah. How to identify, right? You need to observe, you need to ask why to the users. Okay. Now, let's say you observed the users here. Let me just do that here. Okay. Now, problem identification. Problem identification. In this, what you'll do is first you observe, right? In this part, you'll watch how you students use the app. You might notice that they spend too much time on the search screen. Okay, I mean repeatedly filtering the results. Then you ask why. The why. First why is, why are students spending too much time? Why are students spending too much time? The answer would be uh the search results don't match the query. Search results don't match the queries. You again ask why. Again you ask why. Answer would be the algorithm prioritizes old books. Okay. Then comes why. Because the backend hasn't been updated. The backend hasn't been updated to account for next. Again you ask why. Why? Because the developers didn't think popularity data was critical. Okay. Then again you ask why. Okay. And in this why you'll find that it wasn't prioritized in the prioritized in the design phase. Now, after this, you have found the problem that the search system doesn't prioritize student needs, making the app frustrating to use. Okay, now see, next what you'll do? You'll do the data analysis. After data analysis, you might notice that most drop off happen after using the search feature. Okay, next what you'll do is you'll do stakeholder interviews. In this part, what you'll do is you'll ask the student. The student would say the app is too slow to find what I need. The librarians would say students often call or email instead of using the app. Then, if you ask the developers, they'd say the search algorithm wasn't optimized for new books, right? The assumption testing. Then you do the assumption testing. In this assumption testing, what you'll do is you'll be adding you'll assume that adding more filters will solve the issues. Now, what happens is your assumption was add more filters will solve the issue. You do this and you send it for testing. Now, when testing, the drop off rate again increases. Now you ask why. Now, when asking, filters even confuse users more, even more, confuse users even more. Okay. Now, why you found that why filters are confusing the users even more? Oh, you'll ask the user why does this confuse you more. The user say I just want new books to see. Now see, you found the answer. They want new books, which means the search algorithm is showing them old books. So you need to improve search relevance by showing books that are popular, uh, that are popular. Okay, so now after this whole problem identification process, you'll find the root cause, you'll find the evidence, you'll have the invisible layer also. Now after this, what you may do is there are unconventional ways, right? There are also unconventional ways to do this, right? So for that, what you'll do is unconventional ways to identify the problems in the library web. Now, first one was micro irritations. You need to look for small nagging issues people tolerate. One example from R would be the filters are too generic. Filters are too generic. Cool. And users don't complain openly but stop using the app after one or two failed searches. So the inside would be tiny frustrations pile up and create a massive drop off issue. After this, you need to listen to the silent stakeholders. Okay. And most feedbacks come from vocal complainers, as I said. The method here would be to use the survey. Survey students who uninstalled your app. Ask them why. Now, in the discovery part, you will find that these students didn't find the app worth the effort and moved back to manual library browsing. They directly went to the library and bought the books because they didn't find the app to be worth the effort for that search feature. Okay. Let's move to the next one, that is observe extreme use cases. Here you need to observe extreme use cases. A test scenario would be a student searches, like how does the app perform in unusual situation is what extreme use cases. Okay, searches for data science. Now the app suggests irrelevant books like data analytics. Who needs data analytics from 1970. Who needs that? Now, the edge case here is students with specific niche requirements find the search tool completely useless. Okay. And insight would be the app fails both general users and niche use cases, indicating a deeper search algorithm flaw. So, this algorithm is the issue here. And then comes the competitor failures. Now, check what similar apps lack and make sure you don't repeat their mistakes. Okay. A similar app focused on catalog size but ignored user experience and search. They lost users to physical libraries. Did you get my point? A similar app was there, okay, but that app prioritized catalog size more than UX in search. So this led to losing users to physical libraries because all the users started going to physical library. Okay, I hope you got what I'm telling. So using the three layers and unconventional ways, it we helped uncover the real problem that was this search algorithm isn't designed with student priorities in mind. Okay, while the system, like, see, while the symptom was user drop off, the hidden culprit was irrelevant search results. Now, when you like do this, you'll find the actual problem here. Okay, I hope you understood what the whole thing is. I think this video went till half an hour. Hope you were enjoying and were not bored in this video. So yeah, so problem identification is like yeah, detective work. It takes curiosity, patience, just like patience for you in this 30 minutes. Okay, it takes curiosity, patience, and an open mind. The real challenge isn't solving problems; it's finding the right one to solve. Okay, and when you nail that, solutions practically create themselves. Okay, I hope you understood and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll be seeing you in the next video where we will be talking about problem statement breakdown, where we'll use this problem itself and then we'll try to break it down. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.